What is up, everybody? We're back with the Primetime show. Just two of us this time, a little duo show.
Yes,
Um,
sir.
didn't have a third, so you know what? We were like, hey, we are pretty knowledgeable guys about football and all things sports, so we're bringing it to you. Um,
Yes.
one thing, we're gonna talk about one thing that's not football before we get into the football stuff, which is gonna be the rest of the podcast. Real quick, I just want
Uh-oh.
to say, tonight is we're recording this at night. Saturday night to be exact, right before tomorrow, which is Sunday. NFL Week 8 or 9,
hmm
8,
Week 8.
Week 8. Um, I just want to say big respect to my man Anderson Silva for he lost today against Uriah Hall.
hmm
Um, but I'm pretty sure he retired. So I just want to say big respect to him and congratulations on a great career. Still fighting at 45 is nuts. So, like I said, I think Khabib is the greatest fighter of all time in terms of he's just consistent all the time. But when Anderson Silva was in his prime, he was the greatest fighter of all time. Like he's better. He could beat anybody. So, I just want to get that out of the way before we started. And yeah, let's get into football. So, first up on our list, some news in the NFL. What's really been going on so far this week that
Well,
we've heard of?
I guess if we're looking at the Thursday night game, Calvin Ridley did go out with an apparent foot injury.
Yep.
Um, Now, I don't think he's a great receiver for the Falcons, but I don't know if this affects him too much.
No. He is really good. Julio is still playing. He had a fantastic night yesterday, or on Thursday, I should say. So yeah, I think they'll be just fine with him out. I don't think he'll be out for an extended period of time. But yeah, reacting to that Thursday night game, I think that the Panthers, if they didn't have that dirty hit,
Yeah, that was
taken
a
on
disgusting hit.
Teddy Bridgewater by I can't remember who the Falcons guy was, but he
Um,
laid a nasty
yeah,
egg.
that was not. Yeah, that wasn't a good hit. That is definitely not good for his career.
It's
But
not good, but at the same time, like I don't want to say this is a good thing, but it is kind of fun to see some of these rivalries happen in the divisions. We got a big
yeah,
division game coming up for the Packers, which we're going to talk about later. I'm going to keep bringing them up the whole podcast, but we have a lot of rivalries with the Vikings and the Bears, pretty much. The Lions, I mean, besides Ndamukong Suh when he was there, not really too much, but
yeah,
yeah, that was definitely. I don't think that would have happened if they were playing a team outside of their division. So I think there's a little bit of something behind the scenes there that is building up
yeah.
tension or whatever.
It,
I think the Panthers would have won that too if Teddy Bridgewater didn't go out.
well, I'm glad to see that like he did come back at the end. Um, but still, that little time that he was out wasn't really the best. So
Right. Yeah, I agree. And yeah, I mean, felt good. Congrats to the Falcons though. Like they finally. It took taking out the other starting quarterback, but they finally got something going. So
yeah, and like really with this Thursday night game, I'm really not surprised that the Falcons won. Like
yeah,
they should have three more wins in the win column. They should have beat the Cowboys. They should have beat um the the Bears. Like there's so many teams that they should have beat, and they finally like closed it out tonight. So I'm
right,
really not surprised. I had the Panthers winning, but Falcons winning does not surprise me.
right. Agreed. I just want to say I think this kind of pushes Carolina out of the playoff contention. Like they'd have to win like a lot of games in a row for them to be contenders. So
Yeah,
this was kind of a must-win for them if they wanted to have a chance at the playoffs. I think they're out, but anything could
yeah,
happen. They could win 8 straight. Probably.
yeah. I agree with you. Just looking at the NFC West right now, it's just so hard to think that one of those teams isn't going to make it.
Right. So yeah, going off of that Thursday night, we're gonna get into our pick. So we both picked the Panthers to win, and we had our guest Max on Wednesday, who also picked the Panthers to win. Obviously, we're all wrong. I don't think that wasn't for me. That wasn't a huge loss. I only put him, I believe, at 2 points. I'm gonna pull it up, but
Yeah, I only put him at two as well.
we're gonna get into our other pick'ems for coming up tomorrow. So if you guys are doing a league and you want to listen to our reasons behind any of these and switch your picks, that's what we're here for. We're here for you
Yeah,
guys.
and if you guys want to listen to the professional, make sure it's me because I am leading the league.
I had him at 3 points, by the way, not 2, so I lost a little bit more than you did. But basically, if you guys don't know how this works, if you're new, we pick who we think is going to win the game, and we put them at however many points based on how sure we are that they're going to win. So if we're positively sure that they're going to win, we're going to put them at the highest, which is 14 points. If we're absolutely not confident at all, we're going to put them at 1 point. So do you have the games pulled up? I don't. I could pull them up.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 12 o'clock game, first one, Patriots versus the Bills.
Okay. So for me, I'm going to be honest. The Bills, very, very sketchy of a team right now. I still think they're good, but they just need to figure something out. I don't know what's wrong with them. They've kind of been... They, didn't score a single touchdown against the Jets, which is kind of weird. They still beat them, but I just think that the Patriots, unless they have a crazy bounce back, I just can't see them winning this game. I think they're on the verge of going into tank mode, and also the Bills in the division game. Even though they're going up against Belichick, which is arguably the Patriots' scariest,
Yeah.
piece of their team.
He's super scary.
I'm gonna take the Bills on this one. I think they're gonna get it done. Now that I'm saying that, I'm not super confident in that. I'm gonna move them down to 5 points actually. So they're my 5.
All right. Well, with this game, I'm kind of in that same boat. I can easily see the Patriots pulling this out. Divisional game, Belichick as their head coach. I can see that happening. But I just feel like the Bills are going to bounce back after losing to the Chiefs and losing to the Titans. I think they're just going to come in, take a dub against the New England Patriots. Patriots did not look good last week. And yeah, that's all I really got to say about that game.
Agreed. So moving on, next 12 o'clock game, or 1 p.m. Eastern,
is Titans versus the Bengals.
Yeah, that's an easy one for me. Titans all day, 100%.
Yes, same here.
Although I will say the Bengals are a little bit underrated. They have their games where they can put up a fight. That Titans offense, I think, is number 1 or number 2 in the league right now, and they're going up against one of the worst defenses in the league. And not that the Titans have a spectacular defense themselves, and that's why I think the Bengals will put up somewhat of a fight because they have really good... I actually think the Bengals have a solid offense besides their line.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I think they'll put up somewhat of a fight, but this is going to be Titans all day for me, 11 points.
For me, I have the Tennessee Titans winning at 11 points as well. I just feel like they're going to control the game just for the fact that they can run the ball all day against the Cincinnati Bengals.
Absolutely. What's our next 1 p.m.
game? Raiders versus the Browns. This is going to be a nice little game right here.
So this one for me, yeah, I just can't. There's this whole thing where there's the Baker Mayfield cycle, right? And he's really good for a game, and then he gets hyped up, and then he does really bad a game, and then he has the underdog mentality. Everyone doubts him, and then he does good, and then he sucks, And he just came off a 5 touchdown game. I can't see him reproducing that. The Raiders have a stellar offense themselves. Besides, again, their line I don't think is spectacular. Defense is lackluster, but the Browns don't have OBJ. So I can easily see the Raiders pulling this off. I'm not super confident. I'm taking them at 4 points.
You taking the Raiders at 4 points?
Yes.
Well, I'm taking the Raiders at 4 points as well.
Hey, great minds think alike.
Yeah, I know. But I can see Derek Carr, Josh Jacobs, and all of them pulling this off. The Browns are hit or miss. When will they learn that Baker's not their guy? I know he just came off a spectacular performance, but they need to start with the run, and the Browns aren't doing it. And I just feel like the Raiders are a quality team that can take them down.
Absolutely.
So, next game, another very interesting game. The Colts versus the Lions.
Okay, so I have been a big Colts hater this year. I don't think they're at all what they appear to be, and that mainly runs through Phillip Rivers, who I think he's a great guy and all, but he's just not that player this year. He's not as good as he used to be. Different scheme and anything. He's really good in LA, and he just is not producing that well in Indianapolis. But the Lions are getting hot, and it's really weird to see the Lions hot, and I can't see them continually being hot. I think they're going to take an L to the Colts. I think the defense for the Colts. I think their defense is a little overrated too. Not that they're a bad defense by any means. They're very easily top 10. I think the Colts are going to take down the Lions, and I think it's going to be through their defense mostly.
I have the Colts winning this at 6 points.
Dude, we're the exact same.
Yeah. I just feel like their defense is just going to stop this Lions offense. And offensively, the Colts are kind of hit or miss. But if they can get the ball rolling on offense, I feel like they should take this game easily with their defense that they have going against the Lions.
Yep. So,
right.
What's up next?
Jets versus the Chiefs. ESPN has the Chiefs a 20.5 favorite.
Yeah, that's kind of nuts. So I've been
crazy.
A firm believer in picking the Packers at my number 1 spot. This game will be the closest I have to beating the Packers. Me picking the Packers at the number 14 spot the entire season. I was debating it so hard, but I'm like, I can't. I pick the Packers every week at the 14 spot. So Chiefs and Jets I have the Chiefs winning obviously at 13 points, but I mean, man, that's just gonna be a stomp.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs winning at 14 points. If they lose this game, I will be genuinely shocked. Adam Gase is the worst head coach I might have ever seen in my life. They have no offensive weapons because they traded them all away. Their defense is not existent.
Frank Gore, come on, man.
Besides my boy Gore, they have nothing. So,
I think that this game, if the Jets somehow pull it off, will be the biggest upset in NFL history.
It has to be up there, man. If the Jets somehow pull this off with that team,
that'll be like, I can't remember what it's called, but when the American hockey players beat the Russians in the Olympics, it'll be like Miracle. It'll literally be like that. It'll be the Miracle in New Jersey or wherever. I know their stadium is in New York. Somewhere around there.
Oh, that's crazy, but yeah, there's no excuse for the Chiefs to lose that one.
No, easily I got the Chiefs.
Yeah. Next game, Rams versus the Dolphins. Dolphins are coming out a little hot. 3-3?
But they are switching they're switching quarterbacks. I think Tua's gonna have a nice game. But I realistically can't see the Dolphins doing too much on offense against that Rams defense. And the Rams, there's no reason that on fire pretty much Jared Goff should struggle against this defense.
Oh yeah.
So Robert Woods will have a game, I think. I hope Darnell Henderson, the running back, has a game because I think I have him in fantasy. So yeah, I got the Rams at 7.
Okay, I have the Rams at 10. I just can't see them losing this game. Offensively, they can hold on to possession of time. They know how to move the ball down the field, run the ball. They know how to pass. Sean McVay is a great coach, and his defense is rolling right now. And I can't see a Miami offense getting past that Rams defense. So, Rams at 10 points.
I think Aaron Donald, I think it's safe to say Aaron Donald will sack Tua maybe 5 times. Like, I could genuinely see that happening. Although Tua is kind of a fast guy, so, we'll see. We'll see.
Next, the last 12 o'clock game, 1 o'clock Eastern time, is the Steelers versus the Ravens. This is the game to watch if you're going to watch it.
Yep. And by the way, we're not going to go over the Packers game. I think I said this until the end. We're going to save that for the end. I think they have a 1 o'clock, right?
Yeah.
I'm almost certain they have a 1 o'clock. So, sorry, can you repeat that for me? The Steelers and the Ravens? Is that what you said? Yeah, for me, this was my 1 point. Literally could go either way. I picked the Ravens, actually. I think I still just don't believe in the Steelers that they're that team. I get it. They're easily a top 5 team, arguably top 3. But for me, they barely squeaked out a win against the Titans, which they very easily could have lost if the Titans had a competent kicker. No offense to Gotskowski, I like the guy and all. He used to be a great kicker, but this season he's kind of struggled a little bit. I think the Ravens defense could do a lot against Big Ben, and I like the Ravens offense better than the Steelers, for sure, 100%. Even though Lamar isn't what he used to be last season, the whole offense isn't. They just need one game to get hot and to show that they're the better team, and I think this will be the game.
Um, I'm taking the Steelers at 1 point.
Hey,
Defense wins championships. Steelers defense is the best defense in the league right now. Offensively, they are very suspect. Ben Roethlisberger isn't really the old Big Ben that we used to see. But offensively, they still got their weapons. James Conner, not bad. Chase Claypool has been showing out. So I feel like they can get it done. As long as they score more than 3 touchdowns, Steelers are going to win this game. Their defense is going to hold the Ravens.
see, here's the thing. I would argue that Big Ben is actually better this year than he has been in many previous years, but that's not saying much. I don't think Big Ben is a fantastic all-time quarterback. He's definitely up there, definitely a Hall of Famer for sure. But you got to remember that he had great he's a very big stat patter because he had Antonio Brown, you know. So I think Big Ben is good. I like him. He's a good quarterback. He's having a good year this year. But yeah, I think he's having a good year this year. I just wanted to say that because you kind of said he's not the same Big Ben, and I would agree. I think he's a little bit better. So.
So the next game, Chargers versus the Broncos, 3:00.
Okay, so this one, I have the Chargers winning at 7, which is really weird because I don't really trust that at all.
Yeah.
I don't know why I picked. I'm actually switching that right now. I'm gonna take the Broncos at 7.
Okay. Broncos at 7. You changed it.
Yeah, I did. I like the Broncos defense, even though they have key pieces out like Von Miller and they have a really suspicious interior linebackers. But the interior linebackers can be good even if you don't know who they are. Like the Packers, we have a lot of. I think we have 3 rookies, or at least 3 2-year and rookie inside linebackers, and ours are very good. So I think the Broncos, even though their defense has some weird names in it, have been actually showing up this season, and I like their offense too. Chargers, shoot, they are going up against Justin Herbert though, but you know what? I'm gonna take the Broncos. I'm sticking with them. I'm taking the Broncos. 7 points.
7 points. Wow. I have the Chargers winning at 9 points.
Ooh.
Chargers offense is rolling. Yes, I do like defense over offense. And I do not think that the Broncos defense is that good. And then their 2 wins came against the Jets and the Patriots, who are right now both suspect. And they just came off a game letting up 40 points to Patrick Mahomes. And I think this Chargers offense is legit. They have a nice little running back core with Joshua Kelly and company. Once Austin Eckler comes back, he's going to be healthy. The running backs are going to be good. Justin Herbert has receivers, Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. I just feel like their offense is just going to be a little bit too much for the Broncos to handle this game. And
Hey.
I just feel like
We'll see, man. We'll see.
9 points for the win.
We'll see. Anyway, what is
Another
next on the slate?
another great game. The Saints versus the Bears.
Ooh.
This is gonna be
Now,
so for.
you want to start? I'll let you start off with this one.
Oh, I was just gonna say I can easily see the Bears winning this game. It's gonna be interesting to see how the Saints react to a Bears defense. Now, I do believe that the Saints will pull this one out, but I would not be surprised that the Bears win. So that's why I have the Saints winning at 5 points, a lower scoring one than some of my other picks.
So there's nothing that I love more, other than watching a Packer game and watching the Packers just decimate their opponents, than betting high on teams beating our division rivals. I have the Saints at 8 points. Okay.
Oh,
Again with you, I think the Bears defense could show up, but Alvin Kamara is a scary man. They also don't have any Michael Thomas. I think Emmanuel Sanders is playing. Not 100% on that. If Emmanuel Sanders is playing, I could see the Saints easily winning this. I think their offense could do it. The Bears' defense, or their offense, is god awful. It is one of the worst in the league. They have a lot of inside kind of things going on with Matt Nagy and all that. People are saying he's not a great offense coordinator, or just a coach in general. So I think that the Saints will take this one, and like I said, I like nothing better other than Packer games than betting on our division rivals to lose. So let's go Saints, 8 points.
all right. Next 3 o'clock game. The San Francisco 49ers versus the Seattle Seahawks.
Wow. So this is, for me, as close as you can get to the Steelers and Ravens game, being as, I don't know who's going to win. I have them at 2 points, and I kind of said this about I've been saying this about teams like the Chiefs and the Packers. I can't really bet against them until I see them lose. Now, I've seen the Packers, the Chiefs, and the Seahawks lose, but all of them lost in fashions that I think weren't really necessarily good, if that makes any sense. I don't think the Chiefs losing, it was a division game for the Chiefs. I think the Seahawks lost again. It was a division game, very close. Could have went to the Seahawks easily. And the Packers, to me, was a fluke game. I don't think that the Buccaneers would ever do that again to us in a million years. Aaron Rodgers has had one bad game in he has one every 5 years, so just an unlucky day for us. So I'm picking the Seahawks at 2 points, but the Niners absolutely decimating the Patriots, 30-something to 3. In Foxborough is scary, and I'm scared for us to play them on Thursday. I'm gonna be on next Thursday, so yeah, that is for me. Just the last time the Packers played the Niners on a Thursday at Levi's Stadium. Jesus. So, yeah, I got the Seahawks. Like I said, I just can't bet against them. So 2 points for them.
Oh, I have the Seahawks at 8 points. I am more confident on this one. Just for the fact that I feel like Russell's still going to cook. Last week was a little ugly. He had, 2 or 3 interceptions?
3 interceptions. Game-losing interception.
Yes. I can't see him duplicating that performance. I feel like he's going to come out with a flame in his eye, ready to shut some people up against this Niners defense. I don't think they can handle Russell Wilson, especially how injury prone they are right now.
I'm going to disagree with you. I think Russell Wilson I don't think he'll throw 3 interceptions, but I think he could easily throw 2, and I could see him throwing 3 for sure. Because you look at the trend, and he's been throwing interceptions since day one of the season. He's never had a super good QBR, because he's been getting these interceptions, and I mean, it really does harm your team, and that's kind of why I lean towards Aaron Rodgers being a better MVP candidate. Although MVP doesn't mean anything to me because it all depends on who wins the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
but I could easily. I don't think Russell. I think Russell Wilson's great and all. He has an arm like no other. Other than Aaron Rodgers, but yeah, I could see him throwing a couple interceptions. I could see him making some mistakes, especially against. I mean, the Niners don't have a bad defense by any means.
Yeah, they're still good, but they're not what they used to be last year.
I think they're better than the Cardinals. So if that gives you any indication.
Okay. So our next game, this one is interesting because ESPN has Philadelphia winning this game, are an 11-point favorites against the Dallas Cowboys.
Well,
Sunday Night Football.
You look at the Cowboys, and it's hard to think that they're going to beat any team for the rest of the season.
11-point favorites by 11.
Eagles are heating up. They just won a division game. I could easily see them winning this one. I actually have them at 10 points. I think I've been betting on the Cowboys the whole time this season because I just think I figured something would have worked out.
Yeah.
But it just hasn't. It really hasn't. So I have the Eagles at 10. I cannot see Carson Wentz and them losing this game. I think Carson Wentz is finally finding his groove, at least a little bit, compared to what he started off with the season as. I mean, so yeah, I think the Eagles definitely should win this game against probably a third string quarterback, unless Andy Dalton's gonna be back.
Yeah. This is the NFC East is the Eagles division to win. Like they should not lose this game. This is their game to win. If they lose against the worst defense in the NFL and possibly one of the worst offenses in the NFL now that Dak Prescott's out, they should not lose this game. Cowboys, they need to fix their defense. They need help. They need a lot of help. Mike McCarthy is not the solution. So
it starts to. I think they've started to go into a rebuild phase. If you think about it, I mean, they just traded Everson Griffin to the right? Am I saying that right? Everson Griffin, yeah, not Danielle Hunter. Everson Griffin to the Ravens. So they're kind of getting rid of these big pieces that are. I think they're going to start getting rid of more that are costing them a lot of money. So
yeah. So then they can sign Dak for $40 million.
Hey, I mean, just shows how good he is when he's out.
Yeah, I know.
I've never been a Dak hater. I mean, I'll always rip on him because he's a Cowboy, you know. But I mean, everyone's always like, "Oh, Dak Prescott sucks" and all that. I'm like, guy's not bad. He's definitely not like a top 5 quarterback by any means. This season he was making a case for it though. So I think as long as he can come back and produce similar to what he did this year, I think he should get paid $40 million.
Yeah, like Dak leaving just shows you how much the Cowboys needed him, and Dak Prescott and the offense was not a problem for the Cowboys. It was their defense 100%. When you're putting up 40 points a game and you're still losing games, that's just unacceptable for your defense to allow that many points.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, but I can see the Cowboys somehow eking this out just knowing the Eagles and their tendencies, so that's why I have them at a lower one. Eagles at 3 points.
Okay.
And then Monday night game. Buccaneers versus the Giants.
Yeah, can't bet against the Bucs right now. Too hot. They beat us, so if that gives you any indication as to who's going to win against one of the worst football teams in the NFL right now, I think Buccaneers win this easily. I have them at 12.
I have the Bucs at 12 too. They should win this easily. There's no right for them to lose this game with their defense that they have and their offense that they have right now.
But hey, if they do lose, I would not be mad. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Any NFC team that wants to lose besides us, feel free. Absolutely feel free.
So our final game, it's a 12 o'clock game, Packers versus the Vikings. Now, let's go over some inactives out for the Packers.
Got Aaron Jones and Kevin King so far are the guaranteed inactives. We'll wait for the roster update tomorrow, but obviously we can't give you that because we're recording this tonight. For me, it's Sunday. I live Eastern time. For Blake, it's still Saturday. So yeah, like I said, I say this every time we do pick'ems. I'm taking the Packers at 14. I think they're that 14-2 team. If they lose one or two more games, I wouldn't be mad at them. It's a solid 14-point pick every single week, and especially against the Vikings. I mean, I could talk more about the Vikings in this game than the Packers. No defense. Okay, they're running like backup cornerbacks that have like no experience. Just like Aaron Rodgers should be able to like Devontae should go for 300. You know, defense is really trash. Daniel Hunter, I believe, is out for the year. They have a linebacker, I think that's out. Bunch of defensive players that are out. Just a trash defense. And their offense, I mean, come on. It's Kirk Cousins. They signed him for $90 million, and he's just been a pile of trash other than last year. He actually had a solid year. So, yeah, Adam Thielen, I mean, come on. The guy was only good because Stephon Diggs took up the double team on defense when he was there. So, Kyle Rudolph, again, not a great player anymore. Yeah. The only person who would give us trouble is Dalvin Cook. And we proved
And
last week
he's
that we can stop the
questionable.
run. Yeah,
He was out last week, and he's questionable this week to play against the Packers.
absolutely. Mike Pettin has to do a simple job of being competent as a defensive coordinator and stopping either Alexander Madison or Dalvin Cook, whoever's in there. And we win this game by a 20-plus margin easily. I don't know. I think ESPN had us at like a 6.5. I'm like, really? I get it. It's a division game, but my God, they are one of the worst teams in the NFL. In our division, we've proven we can beat them by 20-plus the first time we played them. So, yeah, we are in Lambeau, too. In Lambeau, and it's going to be cold and probably snowy. I mean, come on. Rodgers just feasts on teams at Lambeau in the snow. Let's get it. Easy win.
Yeah.
Easy win.
Right now, the Vikings are not looking up to par with their Viking standard that was set recently with their recent success.
People thought they were going to lead our division. Can you believe that? The Vikings.
And this year they've just been flopping. Their defense has not been getting it done. Every game that they've been in, it's pretty much just been shootouts that they've been losing. Now you got to give them respect. You know, they did come close to beating the Seahawks, so you got to respect them in that sense. But I think with Dalvin Cook with a banged up groin, and the Vikings just looking the way they are, the Packers should not lose this game, especially in Lambeau. They really shouldn't lose this game, so that's why I have the Packers at 13.
Absolutely. So other Packer news, we're just gonna transition into that real quick. So like we said before, the two guaranteed inactives are Kevin King and Aaron Jones. I want to get into Kevin King in a little bit. I want to talk about him. Other questionables, I'm just gonna go off my mind because I'm not too. I don't want to pull it up. I should know these things as a Packers fan. Bakhtiari was out last week, and I believe he got hurt the week before, had a chest injury. So, but he was back at practice. I could easily see him playing. Who else was questionable?
This says Mason Crosby is questionable.
Crosby's questionable. That's weird to me.
Yeah, according to ESPN, full injury report.
I don't know even who our backup kicker is. It might be J.K. Scott. I don't know.
I mean, it probably is. That man has a cannon for a leg.
I wouldn't mind J.K. Scott coming in, although the Silver Fox is a beast, so I don't think Mason Crosby's gonna miss.
So let me just give you the full questionable. Mason Crosby, his calf and back is that's why he's questionable. John Lovett, our tight end.
Doesn't matter.
Raven Green, safety. Darnell Savage is questionable.
He's been questionable.
Tyler Irvin, and then Kevin King, you said, is out. Aaron Jones is out. Tyler Lancaster, D tackle, is questionable, and then David Bakhtiari is questionable. He's not listed as out. He's questionable, so he could come back this game. But will he?
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, so John Lovett. I mean, good player and all, but we don't need him. Fullbacks just aren't what they used to be in the NFL. John Kuhn, best fullback to ever play the game. Just saying.
For sure.
So, yeah, Mason Crosby, I could see, even if he misses, like, we're just going to be touchdown machine on Sunday. I couldn't see us needing him for any big, kicks like that. So if J.K. Scott or whoever our backup is comes in and kicks,
Mm-hmm.
he could probably miss every single one and we'd still win by 20 plus. Then we got Tyler Irvin, who had a wrist injury. He's been out for a while, didn't play last game, the game before. I think he could come back. I think I've seen him at camp or whatever. One person that is on IR that I want to talk about real quick and has been at practice is Alan Lazard. And I really don't think he should come back this week. I don't think they are bringing him off IR. I don't know what the rules are, if they could just bring him off on game day or whatnot.
I think you need to wait 3 weeks. He has to sit out 3 weeks on IR.
He has been out for 3 weeks. Right now he's in a 3-week span where he can come back. Otherwise, if he's too late, he has to stay out for the rest of the season.
The bye week doesn't count towards one of your weeks. It has to be 3 games.
But he was out after the Saints games. That would be Buccaneers. Or wait, who do we play after the Saints?
We had a bye. Wait,
I'm blanking.
hold up. I'm lagging.
Let me pull up the Packers schedule real quick because I'm almost certain he can come back off IR right now. Let's see. Because I know he was out after the Saints. Like he got surgery that week after the Saints game. So let's see. So after the Saints, we played the Falcons. Okay. So that's 1 week.
Okay.
Then a bye. Then the Buccaneers. That's 2.
And then the
Texans. So that's 3. So I think he's eligible to come back against the Vikings. Although I don't think he should. We don't need him. Although he is one of my favorite players in the Packers, we don't need him right now. We're gonna need him. Well, I shouldn't say we're gonna, but we're gonna want him against the San Francisco 49ers on Thursday. So I hope he comes back before that.
And knowing the Packers, they just keep players out kind of like that extra week to make sure they're healthy. Like when we sat Devontae Adams when he said that he was feeling amazing.
Yeah.
And to play, we still benched him, or we still like kept him sidelined. So then you just make sure that he's 100. So I really can't see.
I think that's similar to Jones this week. I think I've seen him at practice, and I think they're just kind of keeping him off because we honestly don't need him this week. Jamal will do fine.
Yeah, and like I know that like Lazard's injury takes a while to heal too, so he could be. I think it's gonna be a couple weeks until we see him.
Hey, but he's been practicing. I could definitely see him at against the Niners, and I hope he does play, but not if it's gonna cause him long-term injury. So as long as he's healthy, whenever he comes back, should be good. I'm sure it'll be sooner than later. So then we got Bakhtiari we talked about. Tyler Lancaster has been out. I think he was out last week, and I'm not sure about the week before that. He's out versus the Texans, and I mean our defense proved enough. You and Conrad were trying to tell me that the Texans have a bad offense. I would highly argue against that. I think they have a very competent offense, even though they don't have a solid head coach anymore. I think their defensive coordinator.
But they have no run game, though. I know
they have David Johnson. David Johnson is a competent running back. He's probably not
who he was, though.
He's probably not top 50%. He's probably in the bottom 50%, but he's not a bad running back. He's in the. If you have him, you're gonna be okay. You know.
No, I don't know about that. Duke Johnson and David Johnson as your running back. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, it's not as good as like Aaron Jones and Jamal Williams, but I mean, you know, you're going to be okay. You're not going to rely on them, but they'll do enough for you. And we shut them down for sure, 100%. Deshaun Watson, I mean, come on. Not had a great year this year, but still.
You got to give Deshaun his credit. And you kind of got to give these Texans teams some credit. Like, I don't think their record really shows them, because you got to remember the teams that they face some hard teams. Their schedule has not been nice to them. I know they played the Chiefs, they played the Packers, they played a bunch of hard teams. Yeah, the Ravens,
possibly the Steelers.
Yeah, they played the Packers, they played the Titans, they played the Steelers, they played the Ravens, and they played the Chiefs.
Hey,
of all those teams combined, they have 4 losses combined.
Yeah.
And 30+ wins combined. So they haven't had an easy road to victories here.
No. So. And also, like, we really should have won. What was it? I think we scored 35. I think we should have won 35-14 or 35-13, because Deshaun Watson, that last drive where our defense just gave up, that was kind of like, you know, it was just stat padding for them, and they're just driving on the field. Our defense didn't have to put in work at that point. They were just, you know, they're just playing for almost like for fun, like. So I think in my mind we beat them 35-14, but the score obviously shows 35-20. So
yeah. So that's that. Some trade rumors that I have seen circling on the internet in terms of the Packers is one for Will Fuller. Now, if this were to happen, I would love to see that Aaron Rodgers to Will Fuller connection. I feel like that would just solidify our wide receiver core to one of the top ones in the league. Because now you have Devontae Adams, who's been showing out every single game that he's been healthy in. And now you add Will Fuller to that, and then Alan Lazard comes back with Marquez Valdez-Scantling as your wideout number 4. That can be deadly.
Now, here's what I'm going to say about that. I don't think it's the best for us. I actually don't. Out of all the trade rumors, I think I like this as one of the least. I think that Will Fuller comes with a heavy price tag. We'd have to trade something big for him, like, probably and the Texans have even admitted that they aren't making any trades for nothing. They want to get something out of it, so we'd have to give up probably a second round pick for it, for him.
Maybe I feel like we could. For Will, I feel like we can maybe get a third. Give him a third.
Well, we'd have to trade him like Scantling or something. We'd have to trade somebody. So I like Scantling. Fuller would definitely make our offense better, but the price tag that comes with him is just not worth it for me. I think there's better options out there, which we'll get into in a minute. So, yeah, I think it'll be an upgrade, but I don't think it's worth the price tag.
Another big trade rumor that the Packers were reportedly into was trading for Zach Ertz.
Not a fan. We have 3 competent tight ends.
Yeah, but this was before we realized that they were competent tight ends.
Yeah.
This was beginning of the season. And at the time, I would think that would be a good move for the Packers, just for the fact, given the situation we were in at the time. Without Jimmy Graham, we're kind of like in a tight end list spot. And the tight end's kind of like a big part of our offense, too, with the whole play action thing that we have going on. So, but obviously I think it was best that we didn't do it, because obviously Robert Tonyan has been showing out, and he's been showing that he can fill that tight end spot really well.
And Sternberger and Lewis. I mean, we have.
Yeah, for sure.
The depth is actually really good for our tight ends. So yeah.
And we also drafted a tight end too.
Yeah, he's out for the season, DeGuara, but he played, I think, probably one game against the Vikings.
I think it was the first game. Yeah.
And he wasn't bad. I actually have hopes for him. I just hope that he had surgery recently, and I hope that once he gets better, he can stay healthy and he can keep producing for us, because he seems like a really cool, like a really good player. So yeah, I don't know if you've seen any other trade rumors, but I've heard of 3 other ones that I want to address. 2 from the Texans. So one was for J.J. Watt. For me, the price tag, I think this year he's making $15 million, and next year he's making $17. Mm-hmm. And he's had, I think it was 3 or 5 sacks this year. I think 3. And about 30 tackles. So for me, I think it'd be a great story for him to come back to, play for his home team and all that in Wisconsin, but just not worth it for me. I think we need another. So I'll get into this later, but I think we need a different defensive player. Basically, I don't think JJ Watt's the move.
Yeah, I don't think he's the move either. He's just too expensive. It would be so awesome seeing him on the line with Kenny Clark, but I just think with the price tag that he's asking for, it's just unrealistic for the Packers. I just feel like we do need to help our pass rush. We need to get to the quarterback more often, because right now Preston Smith has not been performing like he did last year. So hopefully he gets over this little hump.
Hey, we'll get into that. Remind me to get back into Preston Smith. I want to talk about who we need to pick up, and I want to talk about Preston Smith, okay? But anyway, The next trade rumor is Kenny Stills, who is the Texans' second option for wide receiver, has not been producing very well this year. Very much a cheap guy that has big potential, but also if it doesn't work out, we got him for cheap, and we can just drop him after the season.
Yeah, I like that.
I like Kenny Stills. Here's the thing: I don't think the Packers should pick up a wide receiver, but out of all the options, if we had to pick up a wide receiver that has been in the trade rumors, I think Kenny Stills is the best option. He's cheap, has a big chance to boom. And if he does, I could see him getting traded at the end of the season no matter what, because either he's going to boom and he's going to ask for too much money, or he's going to suck and we're just going to get rid of him. And if he's in the middle, he's still probably going to ask for too much money because we have too many people to re-sign next year. So I think for this year, if we were to sign an offensive weapon, I think Kenny Stills will be the best option. You got anything to say about Kenny?
Yeah, I think he's, like you said, cheap. That's what we need, cheap. I'd say we get a cheap one, and then we can open up the door for that large, expensive item that we need, primarily for our defense.
Right. That's what I agree with. But anyway, I just want to say, the last trade rumor that I've heard was for Alshon Jeffrey, and basically what this
Ooh.
trade rumor was is it was Colin, or not Chris Collinsworth, I believe it was. He just kind of said the Packers. Basically, what he said is the Packers should trade for Alshon Jeffrey. It was never like a rumor that the Packers were looking into him or whatever. But I just want to say I don't like that idea at all.
Mhm.
Just not a great player in my eyes. He's good, but I feel like he'd ask for too much money. I don't want that. So just kind of clearing that up for anyone else that's heard that. So anyway,
Mhm.
two things I want to get into. We'll start with
What about
who we.
Preston Smith?
Well, I want to start with who we actually should pick up. Okay,
Okay.
I'm
Okay.
gonna break down the Packers for pretty much all their offense and all their defense. The main parts: offense, quarterback, we're fine. Running backs, we're fine. Offensive line, we are fine. Without David Bakhtiari, we were fine. Um, Wide receivers, we are fine. Okay, offense is clear. We don't need anything on offense. All these other teams that are making offensive moves because they're trying to go for the Super Bowl, like the Bucks picking up Antonio Brown, um, the Ravens picking up Des Bryant. We don't need that. Our offense is one of the best ones in the league, and with Aaron Rodgers, everything clicks. Okay. Defense, cornerbacks, fine. We have great depth at cornerback. Safeties, we are fine. Other than, I mean, right now, Darnell Savage and Raven Green are out, obviously, but if they're healthy, we are completely fine.
Hmm.
Linebackers, a lot of rookies, but they are some of the best linebackers in the league right now. Absolutely some of the best in the league. Kamal Martin, Oren Burks, and Chris Barnes are amazing. Okay? Outside linebackers, we are fine. I'm going to get into Preston Smith after this. The main problem comes with our defensive line. We have Kenny Clark, who is an absolute stud. Okay? Kenny Clark, so glad to have him for the future and that we signed a big bag this offseason. But, and this is the thing, we stuff him at the line, but we can never get in the backfield as much as we did last season we'd like to. And I think it's good that we're stuffing him at the line, but sometimes the running back will break free on that edge, or we're just giving the quarterback too much time off the pass rush. I think we need to spend our $7 million in cap space on a good defensive threat on that line other than Kenny Clark, and someone that will get back there more often and get to the quarterback and get more quarterback hits and sacks. Because right now we're getting there like once or twice a game, you know?
Hmm.
So I think we invest in someone that's not J.J. Watt because he comes with too big of a price tag, but someone that'll get to the quarterback more often. So, now, with that being said, do you agree with me in saying that? Do you have anything?
Well, receivers, we could get that third piece would be nice.
It would be
You
nice.
know,
It'd be nice. I
it
definitely think it'd buff our offense. But at this point, it's what do you value more, helping our defense or offense? I think our
well,
defense. Go.
well,
Sorry.
okay. So we just got to look at Aaron Rodgers. He's what, 36 right now?
Yep.
And so I say, because Alan Lazard, we still have him cheap. So why don't we buy high now, help Aaron Rodgers out for the offensively, so then we could hopefully make this push for the Super Bowl. Right now is our perfect opportunity to. That's all I really gotta say about that.
So this is my argument. I think when Lazard is healthy, I think Devontae, Lazard, and Scantling. You have Devontae, who's open all the time because he's the best wide receiver in the league. Obviously, the best route runner, everything like that. He's going to be open all the time. Lazard might not be open as much, but he can catch like almost anything Rodgers throws to him. That guy's got great hands. He's got a great vertical, super big guy. And then you got Scantling, who throws on the burners a couple times a game and catches those 50-yard bombs. Everything we saw in the first couple weeks when Lazard and Adams were healthy was what we need. And once Lazard is back, it's going to be clicking like that again. And I don't want to bring in anyone to the Packers that's going to harm that chemistry that's going on with Rodgers. And, those guys have been together for a couple years now. And I think bringing in someone, it could be good. It very well could be. But at the same time, I just don't think it's worth the risk. And I think spending our big bag on a good defensive end would definitely help better.
Yeah. Well, I guess. But we need just someone average, I feel, for wide receiver. because Rodgers can make anyone into a great receiver.
Which will be Lazard when he comes back. Well, I think he's above average, but once he comes back, it'll be clicking, I'm telling you. And we have Malik Taylor, who caught a touchdown.
Yeah, right now we are slacking for defensive end right now.
Yeah,
and
for sure. So
I think our linebacker core could use a little bit of an upgrade.
Possibly.
Just some more experience would be nice.
Right, but you have Darius Smith, who is our team captain at outside linebacker. I think
he's a great leader.
He has been perfect this season. I mean, he hasn't shown up as much as last season, I don't think. He had a big night, getting 3 sacks one of the games. I think it was against the Saints. I can't remember. Maybe the Falcons. Anyway, we were talking about Preston Smith. You said he hasn't been showing up this season. Here's where I would like to argue. Preston Smith has dropped back into coverage a lot more this season. He's not that player who's getting blitzed every single time, and I think he should be. I think every single drive we should send Preston to the quarterback a couple more times than we normally do, because right now, Preston, when you send him to the quarterback, since he doesn't go that much, he kind of loses that experience, because he just, like, what I noticed against the Texans, and although Watson is a great quarterback, super slippery and motion heavy guy, he over pursued Watson a lot every time he got back there, and I feel like if we blitzed him a little bit more, he'd kind of get into that rhythm of getting to the quarterback rather than going past the quarterback. So I would like to see Pettin blitz more with our outside linebackers, and I mean Zarius pretty much does every play. But yeah, that's my thing. Why Preston Smith hasn't been showing up in the stat sheets too much this season is because he's been dropping back into coverage so much. And we have been joined halfway through the podcast by Conrad in his car.
Yeah, no, I'm going to be still not home. I'm in Taco Bell's parking lot. I just saw that you guys were in here. So what we're talking about, so I can give my 2 cents. So I'm at least in one of these weeks' podcasts.
Who do you think the Packers should pick up with our $7 million in cap space?
A defensive end.
Hey!
Yeah,
let's go.
That's what we're all saying. Defensive end.
Let's go. Conrad is on the same page.
We need to stop the run.
Yep. Agreed. That's literally what we said.
Yeah.
Who the fuck could we go out and get for 1 year?
Well, see, we were talking about how the Packers were rumored to be possibly looking at J.J. Watt. I don't like his $15 million contract this year, $17 million next year, and he's had like 3 sacks this season. So.
Yeah, no, not J.J. Watt. There's no way in hell we'd buy him.
Yeah, no.
Oh.
It'd have to be someone for like a 1-year deal, but we can sign him like a good one, you know?
We'd basically rent someone for 3 months.
Right, exactly.
Well, yeah, that's my 2 cents. I'm going back to, gonna go shit myself.
Awesome. Thank you for joining us halfway through the podcast.
So, I guess for our final segment, right before we end this podcast, is fantasy stardom sit-em.
Oh.
Wide receiver, QB, wide receiver, and running back.
I did not think this far. I did not think about this.
I'll start with my QB. So, with my QB, I'm telling you to start Carson Wentz. He's playing against a banged-up Dallas Cowboys team, and I feel like this should just be easy pickings for him. So, I would say start Carson Wentz. He's found a little bit of groove again. He's looking a little bit more like the old Carson Wentz that we all seen a couple years ago. So,
I'm going with the bad man himself, Aaron frickin' frackin' Rodgers.
That's gonna be your pick every week, isn't it?
Okay, maybe not against a bad defense, like a good defense like the Buccaneers, but I mean, dude, it's literally one of the worst defenses in football. He's not throwing a single interception. I'm not even gonna knock on wood. It's just fact. He's not throwing a single interception. He's not fumbling the ball. He's probably not even gonna get hit. You know, he's just gonna sit in the pocket all day, probably for 20 seconds at a time, choose his receiver that he wants to throw to, and they're gonna get a touchdown every play. Okay. It's really that easy.
My stardom running back is Derrick Henry. Cincinnati's defense, come on now. He's going to be eating all day. He won't stop. It's Derrick Henry. You got to start him.
Yeah, that's a good one, and I'd like to pick that, but I can't because you did. So instead, I'm going to go for a sleeper. And kind of going off my last pick, I'm going for Jamal Williams, okay? Aaron Jones is out this Sunday. Jamal Williams is the man. He's going to go for 2 touchdowns, 150 yards. He's a good, solid starter for sure. Dude,
right.
my wide receiver is going to be
Dude,
Devontae
I'm the
Adams.
one who takes all the sleepers, but I guess my wide receiver is Keenan Allen. Justin Herbert to Keenan Allen. What? They're playing against the Broncos. I feel like Justin Herbert's going to be able to just sling on them, and Keenan Allen's going to be right there waiting for the football. Keenan Allen, start him, week 8.
Okay, so I'm not going to go for another Packers player, although Devontae... I'll go for 2. I'll say the safe bet is Devontae, obviously, going against a trash Minnesota secondary. But my sleeper is going to be Michael Gallup. Other than Darius Slay on the Eagles cornerbacks, who is going to be locking up Amari Cooper, they don't really have that much. And so I think Michael Gallup is going to have a game. I think CeeDee Lamb will have a game too, but I think since Michael Gallup is kind of their third receiver right now, I think he's going to get the worst of the Eagles secondary, which is going to be a garbage player because I can't even name any DB on the Eagles besides Darius Slay. I think I'm just going to say Michael Gallup or CeeDee Lamb, but I'm looking at Michael Gallup and I like this matchup that he has right now. He's a good sleeper.
Well, for my sit-em, my quarterback is Josh Allen going against Bill Belichick's defense. I'm not too sure about that one. I say you just sit him. I can't see him doing much. He hasn't been really looking the same Josh Allen lately. So just sit him.
Fair. Let me quick take a look at the matchups that we have this week. Let's see. I'm going to say that I'm going to go for a sit-em. Let's see. I think that... Sheesh. This is tough. This is very tough. Because I picked Drew Brees last week as a sit-em, and I kind of agree with the point that Conrad made that not many people have Drew Brees, but against the Bears defense is scary. I like your Josh Allen pick.
I know you do, because when Josh Allen pick is right, so...
Yeah. So, I'm going to go with Lamar Jackson. He's just going up against the best. Even though I think the Ravens are going to pull it out, I don't think it's going to be an easy win. I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring. So I think Lamar Jackson is going to have a mediocre game at best. So yeah.
Wow. That's actually surprising. Wow. Okay.
But I still think they're going to win. So I don't know. We'll see.
So my running back, sit him, David Montgomery. The Bears do not know what's going on right now. They have no clue what's going on. There's a little turmoil, it seems, going on inside. So Montgomery, it's not going to get it going. Sit him.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Myles Gaskin for the Dolphins as their starting running back. I mean, they're going up against the Rams. I mean, come on.
That's true.
I like him. He's he's one of those players that people picked up for cheap. Because no one really knew he's going to be as good as he is, but if you're tight on running backs, maybe start him, but I don't think he's going for much against that insane LA Rams defense. Like, they're just nuts. So, but yeah, that's my sit-em for running back.
My sit-em for receiver, Justin Jefferson. Jair Alexander, Justin Jefferson. No bueno for Justin.
I like
going against that Packers secondary. Kurt has not been looking great. I just can't see him doing well this game. I say sit him going against the Packers.
Okay.
Justin Jefferson.
I agree with that, but I'm going to pick something different. Obviously, I'm going to go with Juju Smith-Schuster on the Pittsburgh Steelers. He's got Big Ben throwing to him, which is already kind of a detriment in itself. Although, like I said previously, he's not having a bad year, so that connection has been working. Juju has been showing out, but he's going up against Marlon Humphreys, okay? One of the top paid cornerbacks in the league. Very underrated guy, in my opinion. You don't hear a lot about him, but
the only good player to ever wear a number in the 40s right now.
Oh, my God.
Right now.
He just number 44.
Yeah.
I would love if Jair. Well, I like Jair wearing 23, but if he wore 44, that'd be.
Oh, dude,
That'd be awesome.
I'll get a jersey.
I mean, I'm still getting a Jair jersey this season, no matter what. But 44.
David Bakhtiari, number 69, best number in the game.
So yeah, those were. Do we want to talk about? Do you want to do defenses real quick? Just say set a defense.
Okay, sit the Niners defense playing against Seattle. Russell Wilson, he's gonna drop 30 on your team. Doesn't matter who you are, he will drop 30. Sit the 49ers.
Okay. I am going to sit the. Ooh, who's a good defense that people have? I'm gonna sit the Chicago defense. They're playing up against the Saints, a good offense that has potential to really go off. Yeah, I don't think you should start the Bears defense.
And then if you're looking for a starter to replace the Bears defense or the 49ers, start the Eagles playing against the Cowboys.
There you
Cowboys
go.
aren't good.
I would say start the Buccaneers. They're playing against the Giants. Or the Chiefs. Or the Chiefs are playing against the Jets. Come on.
Yeah, start the Chiefs right there, bro.
Start the Packers defense. They're playing against the Vikings. I mean, come on.
If the Chiefs score more or the Jets score more than 10 points, I'm gonna actually be shocked.
I could see them getting a shutout easily, like a 40-0.
Yeah.
So, that was that. Did we do stat leaders on Wednesday? Or do you want a quick run through some? Just like a little quick fast five.
Fast five stat leaders.
Well, it's not gonna be 5 of them because we're gonna do
just top quarterback, running back, wide receiver.
Yeah, the fast 3.
Okay, fast 3.
Yes.
Well, first off, Carson Wentz throwing 500 yards against the Cowboys. Next, you're gonna have freaking. Who are you gonna have? You're gonna have Derrick Henry run for 200. No, not 200. 170 yards against the Cincinnati Bengals. Okay, that's easy. The number 3 for your receiver. You know who you're gonna have? You know who you're gonna have?
I wasn't listening to your running back. I'm not gonna lie. I was thinking about what I'm thinking.
Okay. Well, running back, I said Derrick Henry,
okay,
170 yards.
Fair.
And then receiver. Receiver. You know what? I'm going with DK Metcalf.
All right.
130 yards right there.
My quarterback of the week. Don't get him confused with any other quarterback in the league. As for who's the GOAT, this guy is the greatest of all time. No debate. Okay?
It's Aaron Rodgers. Just say it.
No. Wait.
Rodgers.
Oh, 1, 2.
Okay, just say it.
Ready?
Just
Ready?
say
Ready?
it,
Ready?
dude.
3! Hit him with the 3 time. That's illegal. Get him out of the game. Aaron Rodgers is dropping the Schmeat on the Vikings defense. The Schmeat. The discount double check.
Number 1 is
Aaron Rodgers is throwing for 600 yards against this garbage. No good Vikings sec. Okay, maybe not 600, but come on. He is going for at least 5 touchdowns and 400 yards. Let's get Aaron Rodgers some hype in the chat, boys. Okay? Running back. I feel like I should pick another sleeper, but I'm not going to go with Aaron Jones, or not going to go with Jamal Williams. I'm going to pick someone else just to be different. I am going to say Kareem Hunt against the Raiders defense. I think he's going to have a good game. But I'd also like to say Jamal Williams. So those are my 2, okay? It's going to be my fast 4. Wide receiver, I mean, I didn't pick him before for the stardoms. I mean, I did. I said he was a safe bet. I'm going to pick him for the fast 4 or whatever. It's Devontae Adams. Come on. There's no one that's locking him up on that Vikings secondary. No one. He's going to be more open than against the Texans secondary. Okay? He went for 14 receptions the first time we played him. And they have an arguably somehow worse cornerback group. They are just beaten and banged up, and he's going to be 10 yards. He's going to have 10 yards of separation every single play. Easy. Devontae Adams. 100%.
So those are your fast 3 of the week. And that will conclude today's episode. So
hope you guys enjoyed. We will be back
yeah.
Wednesday, the day before the Packers take on the Niners at Levi Stadium. which
Mm-hmm.
gives me nightmares, gives me the heebie-jeebies thinking about,
Yeah.
especially on this Halloween. Well, day after, as of right now. But yeah.
Make sure you vote too. Don't forget to vote. Every vote counts.
Don't forget to vote as Aaron Rodgers
November
for your MVP.
3rd. Yeah, November 3rd. Don't forget to vote. This is important.
Make sure to vote. Anyway, that was our predictions, our stat leaders, our stardom sit-ums. We do this every Sunday, guys. Come on. Subscribe if you're new. Leave a like if you enjoyed. We'll see you later. Peace out.
Peace.